Hey everyone! Today we're diving into the Bible to tackle a huge question. Did Jesus ever actually claim to be God? Millions of Christians believe that Jesus is God. At the same time, Muslims deeply love and respect Jesus and see him as one of the greatest prophets of God. So which understanding is correct? In this video, we're going to look directly at what the Bible says. In a separate video, we'll explore how Islam views Jesus. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. I'm not here to attack anyone or their faith. We're just looking at the facts, trying to think for ourselves and figure out the truth. Evidence in the Bible that Jesus did not claim to be God. Let's go straight to the Bible and examine verses that show Jesus did not claim divinity and clearly distinguished himself from God. 1. Jesus prays to God. Matthew 26:39 says, "Then he went a little farther and fell on his face and prayed, 'My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will.'" John 17:5 says, "Father, glorify me in your presence with the glory I had with you before the world began." Jesus is praying, asking, submitting. If Jesus were God, why would he pray or ask for help? 2. God is greater than Jesus. John 14:28, "The Father is greater than I." Jesus clearly says God is greater than him. That alone rules out equality. 3. Jesus calls God my Father. John 10:29, "My Father who has given them to me is greater than all." John 5:30, "I can do nothing on my own, because I seek not my own will, but the will of him who sent me." Jesus constantly describes himself as obedient and dependent on God. 4. Jesus was sent by God. John 20:21 and John 17:3, "The Father has sent me." John 20:21, "As the Father has sent me, I am sending you." Someone who is sent is a messenger. Jesus doesn't send himself. He is sent by God. 5. Jesus forgives sins as God's representative. Mark 2:10, "The Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." That authority comes from God. Jesus acts on God's behalf, not as God himself. 6. Worship belongs to God alone. Matthew 4:10, "Worship the Lord your God and serve him only." Jesus affirms that worship is directed to God alone, not to himself. 7. Jesus describes himself as a servant. Mark 10:45, "The Son of Man did not come to be served but to serve." Luke 20:27, "I am among you as one who serves." Jesus emphasizes humility and service, not divine status. 8. Jesus performs miracles through God. John 14:10, "The Father who dwells in me does his works." John 5:30, "I can do nothing on my own." His power comes from God, not from himself. 9. Jesus calls himself the Son of Man. Luke 19:10, "The Son of Man came to seek and save the lost." Luke 18:32, "The Son of Man will be delivered into the hands of men." This title highlights his humanity, not divinity. 10. Jesus separates himself from God. John 8:28, "I do nothing on my own but speak just what the Father has taught me." John 14, "The Father who sent me is greater than I." Over and over, Jesus makes the distinction clear. What the Bible shows from these verses, the picture is consistent. Jesus prays to God and submits to his will. He openly says God is greater than him. He is sent by God as a messenger. He performs miracles and forgives sins through God's authority. Worship belongs to God alone. He describes himself as a servant and a prophet. Even phrases like Son of God or I and the Father are one refer to unity of mission, not literal divinity. And most importantly, Jesus never once says, "I am God." Not clearly, not directly. If that were the central belief of Christianity, wouldn't he have stated it plainly? According to the Bible itself, Jesus is a servant and messenger of God, not God. And this aligns perfectly with the Islamic understanding. The Islamic view of Jesus. In Islam, Jesus is one of the greatest prophets. He was born miraculously. He performed miracles by God's permission. He guided people to worship God alone, but he was never divine. What's next? Now that we've examined what the Bible says, the next step is to look at how Islam views Jesus in detail. In the next video, we'll explore the Islamic perspective and see why Muslims honor and love Jesus deeply, while keeping God alone as the one worthy of worship. Make sure to check it out.